G'day, it's Mark here and welcome back to the channel. And today's episode is the last in the Falcon history series, the Falcon FGX. The FGX was produced from October 2014 until October 2016. It was available with a 2-litre EcoBoost engine, making it one of the first 4-cylinder Falcons ever offered. And that was in response to many government departments that had a no V8 and in some cases no 6-cylinder policy, although it did little to help Falcon sales. The car was also available with the 4-litre Barra engine, the 4-litre Barra Eco LPI, the liquid petroleum gas engine, and the 4-litre Barra Turbo, as well as the 5-litre Coyote V8. Internally known as Project 201X, Ford Australia revealed its last Falcon model in August 2014 and explained that its series code FGX was chosen following significant feedback from key enthusiasts. The new code, like that of the preceding FG, pays homage to the Fairmont gear nameplates of the past generations, whereas the X alludes to the Falcon's most popular series, from XK through to the XH. The car was designed by designer Steve Park. I thought Steve Park did a very good job to make the car look a lot more modern, front end and rear end. Obviously there's a Ford family look with that Mondeo sort of style grille and headlights. The rear taillights looked very much like a Jaguar, and I quite like the chrome trim treatment between the taillights. So I think he did a good job. I think also the bonnet bulge on the V8s was influenced by the American Mustang. That was quite nicely done. So I know some people may not like the FGX, but I think it's actually a very well articulated design. And I thought it would look particularly good in sedan and ute form. It's a real shame that the wagons were no longer in existence, but I thought it was very good. And I would also make a comment that the G6E had a really nice, the level of differentiation was really good, as it was with FG in the previous series. But I think the design was particularly nice. Almost had a bit of a Honda look about it in some ways with the chrome grille. I think the G6E is probably one of the good ones to buy in terms of, the prices are quite reasonable compared to the XR6 turbos and the XR8s and the Sprints and so on. They're very, very expensive cars now, more than the retail price of when they were new in many cases. The model range consisted of the Falcon XR6, the Falcon XR8, the Falcon G6E, the Falcon G6E Turbo, the Falcon XR6 Turbo, the Falcon XR6 Sprint, and the Falcon XR8 Sprint. Transmissions included the availability of the 6-speed TR6060 manual, the 6-speed 6HP21 automatic for the 4-cylinder and the 6-cylinder cars, and a 6-speed 6HP26 automatic, which was in the turbocharged and the V8 models. During the FG series, FPV ceased to operate as a business, and this also carried through to FGX, where all Falcon derivative models, including the performance models, were all made in-house at Ford at Broadmeadows. The G6, which had been introduced at FG series in 2008 to replace the Fairmont badge, was discontinued, as was the XR8 in the utility version. So only the G6E was available in the sedans. The FGX was the first Australian-made vehicle to feature Wi-Fi connectivity and DAB+ radio, courtesy of its upgraded in-car entertainment and command system, now marketed as Sync 2. This system also featured voice control and emergency call functionality. The 2-litre inline 4-cylinder turbocharged engine had 180 kilowatts or 240 horsepower. The 4-litre inline 6 had 195 kilowatts or 261 horsepower. The 4-litre inline LPG engine had 198 kilowatts or 266 horsepower. The 4-litre turbocharged engine had 270 kilowatts, which was the same as the F6 Typhoon, or 325 kilowatts or 436 horsepower for the Sprint model. The 5-litre engine, the Miami V8, supercharged V8, had 335 kilowatts lifted from the FPV GT, or 449 horsepower, or 345 kilowatts or 463 horsepower for the Sprint model. Also available in the range was the utilities, the base Ute replacing the previous XL, the XR6 and the XR6 Turbo only, and each with the option of a cab chassis or a utility style side body. Come October 2016, due to Ford Motor Company's One Ford product development plan, introduced in 2008, to rationalise its global range, the Falcon would not be directly replaced by a similarly sized vehicle. Some people had speculated that the American Ford Taurus may have replaced the Falcon and even been rebranded. And this happened with the Holden Commodore, which took the Opel designed vehicle, which was also used and sold as a Buick in the United States, and the Commodore name was applied to it. And there was a lot of criticism of Holden for applying the Commodore name to what was really no longer an Australian car, even though really the Commodore did evolve from an Opel-based design back in 1978 when the VB was launched. Likewise, I guess the Falcon also was derived from an American-based design, or very much an American design, back in 1960 when it was launched. But there were no plans to rebrand the Taurus as a Falcon, and that was seen as a good move from enthusiasts. Once the Falcon had moved on, Ford was offering the Ford Mondeo in sedan and wagon form, but this was in no way going to satisfy those customers that had been buying Falcons. The Ford Falcon was actually produced for 56 years of production, and that made it the longest running nameplate in the history of Ford, which is pretty amazing in terms of production cars. Sales of the FGX Falcon commenced in December 2014. Sales exceeded 700 monthly vehicles for the first time in March 2015. This was despite the fact that Ford Australia did very, very little in terms of promoting the Falcon, which was a real shame. I feel that if they had have promoted the Falcon more aggressively, they would have sold more cars. In fact, when I was running Shannon's marketing, I actually made an ad with the Falcon XR8 in it because I felt no one's really marketing the poor Falcon. And I wanted a few to be sold so they could be collected down the track. So I actually featured in a Shannon's ad. Here's a still of that image there from the TV commercial. And then, in fact, the woman says it's going to be a classic. That was an XR8. The FGX Falcon was produced from October 2014 through to the end of Ford vehicle production in Australia, which was October 2016. That was a very sad day for not only Ford fans, but I think for Australian manufacturing industry. And during this time, it only sold a little over 11,100 units, which again was a very sad reflection on the lack of marketing from Ford. And including utility sales, which were made for the same period, the total tally of FGX was 16,100 units. So it's a pretty sad ending to what was a fantastic storied history of the Ford Falcon nameplate, through motorsport and and road car use. And there's many people, I'm sure you'll all be able to tell me plenty of memories of you've had as, you know, family cars and holidays away and things like that in your Ford Falcon or your Fairmont or whatever. So a sad ending to Australian history. But as I said, make sure you continue to subscribe and check out the channel, because there will be more Ford history videos and Holden and Chrysler videos coming. Well, I hope you enjoyed that episode on the Falcon FGX, the last in a illustrious series of Falcons, from the first in XK right through to FGX. If you haven't already, check out the playlist on the channel, and you can watch the full series of Falcon episodes at your leisure. And don't despair, there'll be more episodes coming up on Ford Fairlanes, Ford LTDs, Chryslers, Holden, and a lot more. So make sure you're subscribed, hit that subscribe button, and give the episode a like, and we'll see you next time. Thanks very much for watching. Bye.